Hello, good evening, good welcome, good afternoon, good morning, and depending on what time you are watching this back on YouTube, happy middle of the night. It is Front Row Racing World Championship Round 8 for Austria. I'm Front Row Racing, I nearly said DP then, I'm GP, also known as Stevie Sherbets. I'm going to change my name to Murray Walker. In commentary this evening with me we've got James Hulkenberg, also known as James Huntenberger. Also in the pit lane we have got Front Row Racing RI, also known as Rachel Brooks. So you two, how are you this evening?
I'm not too bad. How's our Ray?
Our Ray's fine. He's recovered from his hurt last week. He's fine.
Nice one, nice one.
Right, well, what do you think we're going to expect from this race then? I'll tell you what, I can't.
A lot of drivers moaning.
Every time we've done practice with dynamic weather on, guess what's happened?
It's been blistering sunshine.
Definitely not. And I kid you not, every single time dynamic weather has been wet. For at least half the event, if not all of it. So if we
Austrian Alps, they're just ruffling up some lovely weather for us.
But I tell you what, if we get a dry race, I will be surprised, because I've not yet seen a dry circuit here unless we've set it to dry. So yeah, an interesting one. Could be a wet one.
Yeah,
Are the drivers going to be ready?
Yeah, we all like wet ones, and the problem with this circuit is though you've only got one decent cracking area for an overtake, and that's usually around turn 2.
Yep. Turn 2 last season.
You're asking for trouble.
What happened at turn 2 last season, James? On about the last lap.
I think we had a bit of a coming together, didn't we?
Yeah, I think your car and my car tended to like each other a little bit there.
Yeah, our cars just wanted to mate. That were it.
Yep.
The last lap. Exactly.
Yeah.
Straight in the wall.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, we'll overlook that. what I'm going to do is introduce everyone on YouTube to the drivers that we're going to have on the grid this evening. As that is Front Row Racing DP just saying goodbye and disappearing into his car. Thank you very much for that. Right, yes, we have Flaming Dragons Mercedes of Danevs and Temp Fear. Two strong drivers.
Temp Fear's really put Danevs in the shade, and I do know Danevs is super quick. He's had a very scruffy first half of the season, and we're going to see him bounce back here in Austria.
We should do, and he is a little Welshman. Actually, I don't know whether he is little, but he's a Welshman, and he's not, you know, if it rains here, he'll be feeling right at home.
Yeah.
Moving on to the Rising Lads Red Bull of Stocky and Bartman. Two very good drivers again.
Stocky, he's really impressed us, especially with his overtakings. Certain little areas such as safety car restarts have been a bit questionable, but overall utter racecraft has been spot on.
Talking about his safety car restart last week, it wasn't until after the event that we found out that that was his first ever safety car restart, and at the front. So not only was it his first one, he had to lead it as well, so yeah, it was a bit of a nerve-wracking one for him. So it's all a learning curve for them. But just on those two,
his lessons.
Yeah, he has. Just on those two though, Ray, drivers' comments from Stocky, anything interesting?
From Stocky, sorry, yeah. He doesn't like this track. He got unlucky last race, but he's in it to win it.
Why?
Yeah, well, do you know what? He could actually go and win it. Moving on. There's only one driver showing there for the Williams team. The Sensen Racing Williams of Killer Corkin and Yarsen. Yarsen should be racing this evening as far as I'm aware, so we may just have to hold the horses for him to jump into his vehicle. Now out of Killer Corkin and Yarsen, I believe that one of them had something rather interesting to say. Was it Killer Corkin? Ray, what did Killer have to say for us?
keep getting me when I'm typing or something. Killer Corkin, he's feeling a bit ill, so
Oh no.
he's under the weather.
That's the last thing you want, a gruelling race around Austria.
Yeah, well,
And then barfing, that's not what you want.
he may end up having a bit of a Mark Webber incident in his crash helmet if he's not careful. Yeah. Well, let's hope he feels better soon. Yeah. I'm coming in the pits. Right. Up the line, Ferrari of Overdykink and Jamie James. And I tell you what, Jamie James looking strong this season. There's only 2 drivers that have won 2 races, and he is one of them. And who would have thought at this point of the season he would have had more wins than Overdykink?
Yeah, a very topsy-turvy start of the season for the Ferrari guys. I mean, Overdykink absolutely outstanding in the Chinese Grand Prix. I mean, some of them overtakes and the strategy were, well, it made everybody look like amateurs. And then the other half of the season, it's been a bit scruffy here and there. Jamie James, he's just capitalised, and he's got them positions, and he's grabbed them and he's running away with it.
Yeah, and he's done it absolutely on merit. And again, last week, driver of the day, and I am pretty sure, unless I'm mistaken, that is 3 driver of the days on the trot. I mean, that's good going.
That's good going.
Yeah. So, Ray, did you manage to catch up with any of the up the line team for any messages this week?
Yeah, I spoke to Ferrari and they have parted from sharing team radio with McLaren this week. Ooh. So they have 2 part-time race engineers. They have Photo Chick 46, how you doing? And they have a little blue person in there, Smurfy 91.
Smurfy? I wonder if Papa Smurf's down there as well. Maybe what? Smurfette.
That might be Overdykink. He must be the Papa Smurf. Papa Smurf, yes. Okay, moving on to Freedom McLaren of GT5 King and Konzo. Konzo's looking for a strong event again. I say again, he's getting strong with his wheel. He's getting there, and this could be an event where it starts to show.
I mean, utter respect for Konzo for sticking at it, and I think it's just showing. I mean, he was super quick on the pad. Yeah. And if he keeps going the way he's going, it's an upward trend. By the end of the season, he might be straight back up there with the pace he was running on the pad. So,
yeah.
GT5 King, he's had. I've been watching his races. Monaco apart, first half of the races for GT5 King has been right up there, and it's just been either through tiny little mistakes or other incidents out of his control. The second half of the races have sort of dropped off a bit, and unfortunately he's not maximising on them points. But if he can keep stringing it together like he does in the first half of the race, GT5 King, Konzo, this could be cracking for them to the last half of the season.
Definitely could. And I've just noticed the time is moving on. It is nearly race time, so let's just finish off with these drivers we've got down the list. I've just gone past the commentary crew there, but in the Sauber, the Saubers, that is Landmark Racing, Mornay and normally Joe Finn. Joe Finn is unavailable this week, unfortunately. He's been called into work. Mornay, I tell you what, Ray, you tell me what happened when you went to ask Mornay for a comment in the media area.
It was like, what's his name, Kimi Räikkönen, I'm telling you. He's like, I don't want the media distraction, and buggered off.
Well, either he's absolutely 100% totally focused, or he's 100% absolutely totally off. So we won't give him any attention at the moment. Then we've got Mode Red, Mano Marusha of Kev 187 and Front Row Racing DP, both very strong. And we had a last minute bit of information come in from Front Row Racing DP, who said he did manage to get one of his PBs just in a practice session, so he's feeling very strong for this event. Let's go back to look at the main screen. We do have lots of ticks on the board. That means they probably are waiting for us to click the buttons as well, so we better get this event underway. And I did see,
have we got both Williams, or is one of the Williams drivers missing?
I did notice that that there was 2 seats on the Yarson. There was 2 seats on the Yarson. Yarson is in. He's in the Williams.
Yeah,
he is there.
He's there.
He's made it in. So it's a full grid,
that's it.
bar the Joe Finn. Yeah, no reserve seats this week. Every driver's here other than Joe Finn. Unfortunately, let us know a little bit too late for us to get the reserve driver in place. The rules that we do have, unfortunately, in this league is 24 hours notice. That gives the reserve driver plenty of time to prepare mentally as well as physically. So this is it then. It's going to be Austria. It could be wet, but we are going to be very high up in the hills, and I'll tell you what, I am not going to be singing The Sound of Music.
The Red Bull's going to dominate at the Red Bull Ring.
I tell you what, the sky's blue, but there's a bit of water in them trees, you know.
It's misty.
Well,
It's misty. It
the
is
water
misty.
in the trees, that's not too bad. It's the thunderstorms erupting for the race I'm not looking forward to.
But when I say the water in the trees, what it is, you see, it's the sun evaporating the condensation out of them trees, and that's what's going to cause the rain later on. Looking at the race, the rain forecast for the race, it does say cloudy with showers after a dry start, and I tell you what, it's looking like quite nice sunshine up to 45 minutes. But what's it going to say on 90? Cloudy. Now that could be interesting. I'll tell you what, it will be worth us coming back and having a look at that in about 10 minutes time. But we do have a car out on circuit already.
Morley 77.
He does like to get out there quick, doesn't he? I tell you what, it might be Mornay, but I'm on board with Stocky, and I think he is the only driver out there. So normally we would expect Mornay out there, but it is Stocky, and he is on the soft tyres. I'll tell you what, if I was a driver driving around here, I'd be looking at that sky thinking, thank goodness for that, because I would not like to be driving around here on the wet tyres.
Killer Corkin's going straight out in the Williams on a set of primes, so he's wanting to save a couple of sets of options for the race, I reckon.
Yeah, I mean, it's not normally the sort of circuit that you would want to start the race on primes. I think you'd probably find you'll lose a bit too much time in that first couple of laps over the option tyres.
Temp Fear also appears to be getting out there on primes.
Stock is taking this out lap extremely carefully. He doesn't want to put any tyre life on these tyres.
Got Mornay just coming out. He's just started his flying lap, and he's already gone wide at turn 1. That's absolutely ruined his start of his lap. So let's jump on board with Stocky, who's just about to start his flying lap, getting the power down at the last corner, trying to maximise the speed down a straight now, looking for the 100-metre board, get it turned in. That was sweet as you like. Rear end wanting a snap, but that's not what you want on the exit of the corner. This is probably the longest straight. I say it's a straight, it's more like a bit of a wonky curve straight.
16.2 is not bad.
Uphill.
We're looking for a low 16, a 16.0 is possible, but a 16.2 is not bad at all.
Can brake a touch later than you think at turn 2 due to it being uphill, now heading downhill. Braking and turning at the same time, that is not what the cars like to do.
This is a corner I don't like.
Fast left-hander. Everybody's, mind you, I say everybody, some people might like it. I enjoy this corner, especially if I'm not heading into the gravel.
A 30.7 sector 2, not too bad. Couple of tenths extra there he could find.
Now, probably the most dangerous pit entry on the calendar that I can think of. Plenty of
I'll tell you what, his time's been invalidated. I'm pretty sure I saw his. No, I didn't. But I'm pretty sure I saw his time stop at 1:02 as he was coming around the penultimate corner.
His time on the leaderboard is standing.
Is it? Oh, is it? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, no, it's been dropped. Yeah.
No,
it's been dropped because we've got Killer Cork and who's popped in a 1:08.7
and gone ahead.
But he's jumped in front, so yeah, his lap time's been invalidated. Very strange because I didn't happen to see on that view him going over the white lines.
But that's where we didn't see it. But he may have seen it on his view because obviously we're getting not a delay as such, but there's a micro fraction of a delay. Yeah, that's why the league like to see the driver's own footage for their qualifying laps, because that will show exactly where that driver was putting that car at that particular point. So Bartman's just on an outlap crossing the line to start a faster. He's on the prime tyres as well, so I'll tell you what, we'll leave him to that for now. Just have a quick look around. Over Dyking's on prime tyres, a 16.4 sector 1, not too bad.
GT5 King, he's on his outlaps, he's on the option, so I believe this is either his in-lap or if he's going to get on the throttle, this may be his start of his outlap, the start of his flying lap.
It looks like he might be winding up, yep.
So here we go, into the final corner. Turned in nicely there, hard on the power. Into 6th gear. Seems a bit laggy, 6th gear.
He might be running a bit higher downforce.
Yeah, that was late as you wanted to brake into turn 1. May have carried an extra few mile an hour up this hill, which is exactly what you want. Braking just after the 100 metre board.
16.4, not too bad.
Spot on.
Like I say, a 16.0, 16.1's what you want to be aiming for.
Yeah. Seemed a bit hesitant on throttle coming out of turn 2. Now we're going to see how he is coming out of turn 3. Doesn't seem to want to take as much power. I think he must be running fair low downforce at the front. Very tentative on turning.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he's got high drag at high speed. Oh, that's going to invalidate it.
There, I believe that'll be invalidated now.
It did. It stopped at 49.6, unfortunately for him. Yeah, let's have another look then. Who else we got?
Mana Marusha, so they're both running on the prime tyre. Kevin 180 is on primes.
His sectors are not looking great, so it looks like he's just getting that car warmed up, ready for a run.
DP's just bombing round out to the last corner. Not looking too shabby on primes. 107.9.
Looking at his sector times on prime tyres, that is not too bad at all. I mean, for saying that's not too bad, to give you some sort of idea, we're looking at pole time, possible 106.5, 106.3 is capable, but yeah, 106.5 for the option tyres. So for the time he's just done on the prime there, that's not too bad. So let's have a quick look, see who else is.
DP's currently sitting in first place, and that is on a set of primes. So
yeah,
he may be just gauging what the rest of the field are able to do. If he can snatch pole on a set of primes, he'll be laughing all the way to the finish.
Just looking at Kev at the moment, he's kind of equalled DP's first sector of a 16.4, but I don't know if he's just lifted off a little bit. I think he's actually gone quicker than DP in sector 2. He's got a 30.9, so this could be provisional pole even though he's on the prime tyres. He has got a car ahead of him and he's going to be hoping that doesn't cause any dirty air.
It is DP in front of him. Coming over the line.
Kev's gone P2.
9. That's very close between the two.
I wonder if these two are winding up to do a bit of a slipstreaming. No, DP's pulled out of the way.
It's less than 100. I think it's 800ths of a second difference between Kev. And then we've got 10 extremely close behind in P3.
Jammy James coming round last corner to start setting his lap time. He's not put a lap in yet, I don't think. He's on the option tyres, so this could be the first person
Jammy
with
James
options.
Is coming up the hill and his teammate, and somebody always got way wide in turn 1. That's absolutely ruined that.
Well, it might not invalidate his lap, but he'll have to do an ETL lift for it. He's got cars ahead of him. He'll want them to keep out of the way.
He's got his teammate ahead of him now.
Now this
He's
is
gone
where
way deep in
his
a turn
teammate
two.
could
He's
help
gone,
him. This is where we're going to see the Ferrari slipstreaming. He's not really tucked into that
This is
slipstream.
not the best place to be slipstreaming. Down out of turn one would probably be your best bet to do.
No, he's wanting his teammate out of the way, I would have thought.
Yeah, this is not what you want running through here.
I'll tell you what, looking at his first sector, it's way off. His first sector's, you're looking at 7/10 off what he should be looking for there. So, yeah, and again, his second sector, so that's a lap abandoned. What are the two cars going to do? Are they both going to pit?
If he's wanting to start a lap, he needs to back off, and that's what he's doing.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, let's jump on board with Overdykink a moment, see what tyres Overdykink is on. He's on the options. Because he's the car ahead out of the two, we'll stay on board with him for now. Ray, if you want to keep an eye on Jamie James, and we'll try and compare some sector times if you let us know if James is going quicker.
Rear end just squirming, but handled that very nicely through turn one for Overdykink, heading up to turn two. How late is he going to brake?
That's 16.3.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Okay, so 10th to Overdykink.
Overdykink's tyres will be one lap fresher, so I do expect him to go slightly quicker. Downshifting so aggressively. I know that on my... Oh, we've got yellow flags out in sector 2. Hopefully this is not going to disrupt Overdykink.
I think it's a Marussia. It looked a bit red on top, but I can't be sure. Sector 2 coming up, and we've got a 30.5. Not too bad at all. What's James got?
31.3.
He might be on an in lap with that. He might have just decided to call it quits on those tyres.
Heading through the final corner for Overdykink, absolutely flat out, didn't run wide, so hopefully this should stand. And it's a 106.
That's a pole.
107 dead.
That's a provisional pole of 107.0. And looking at his sector times there, if you were going to say is there anywhere on that he could be looking to improve, I don't think he's going to improve. Sector 1 is 3/10. Sector 2 is a couple of tenths, but his sector 3 time I don't think he's going to be looking to be improved that much at all, because a 20.0 is about the best you can get. So his sector 1s and 2s is where he wants to be looking for it. Now then, we have Temp Fear, who's just set a sector 1 time of a 17.8, so we're going to leave him to it.
He's gone way too deep in turn 2.
Bartman is on a sector 1 of 18.5, he's not on a lap. But we have got GT5 King, who's on another lap. He's on the prime type now, he's coming into the pits there now. It looks like he's got the wrong line.
Prime tyre runners, so if they're thinking about getting some bankers, they need to pull into the pits soon and get some options strapped on.
Oh, Danev's just run a little bit wide there. Let's hope he does his ETL lift. I think he may. It's invalidated his time. It got stuck at a 101 there, so it looks like it did invalidate his time just as he ran wide. Yarsson has parked his car.
Leaderboard, we've missed Stocky's lap. Current leaderboard is Overdykink on a 107 dead. Then we've got Stocky on a 107.2, which I believe must have been on options.
Now DP and Kev187 set their times on the prime tyres. I'm wondering, looking at the leaderboard, will they be happy to start on the prime tyres, knowing that they're 3rd and 4th on the grid?
Yeah, but being off the front row, knowing that they could quite possibly get on the front row if they're strapped on a set of options, does
Kev
and 5th
is on the options. He's on his...
I think starting 4th and 5th is just opening up areas where you could get caught in a bit of a collision down into turn 2.
Yep, Kev's just into turn 1 on his option tyres, so let's see what he can do with this sector 1. It's a big downhill. And what have we got?
I've just received messages from, I think Jason. He's saying his car error. He's not driving now. Do I restart?
I wonder if he's having the problem that I had last season at Monaco, where I went into the lobby, started the session, and rather than it giving me the car to drive, it just gave me spectator mode for qualifying. Right. That should write itself for the race and put him in the car. But unfortunately for him, and it's completely out of our hands, it will give him the stock setup, which is so annoying.
Ray, if Jason's not listening to this, if he is, then he'll hear me say this anyway. But if he's not, Ray, if you could message Jason and say if you can return to the lobby and use it'll be a random car and the stock setup. That's all we can offer him at this moment. There he goes. He has rejoined, but he will unfortunately be in whatever car it decides to give him. And while we've been dealing with that, Kev did set a lap time. Yeah, and gone P2, and again sector 1's just a little bit shy there for him. There you go, he's gone a little bit quicker in this sector 1, but I don't think he's going to be setting
sector 3, so it's quite impressive in sector 3. But yeah, the first sector's where he's lost it. I
don't think he'll be going for another. He might want to save his tyres, and I'd be surprised if he goes for another hot lap. But we will find out as soon as he hits the sector 2 markers, because
DP's just coming out of turn 1. He's on his flying lap now, heading up towards turn 2. Is he going to try and snatch pole position? We're about to find out. Braking just after.
Tell you what, that's
all turned in spot on.
That could be purple for sector 1 of a 16.1.
That is definitely purple for sector 1. It's all about sector 2 and 3. Can he string this together? He's been feeling confident going into this race. Bit tentative on braking there. Oh, we've got a car in front. Hopefully that's going to keep well out of the way, which is very, very helpful on a flying lap.
Sometimes even just having that car there, it just distracts you enough just to miss something. A 30.6, not too bad, not too shabby. But I tell you what, it took a very interesting line into that corner.
Yeah, I think it may have been the internet connection that. Yeah, because the angle he's coming into the corners is not representative of what he will actually be seeing, and he's just snatched pole position, 106.9. How close do you want to call it?
That is brilliant. And again, looking at his times, if there was anyone to improve on the DP sector times, you'd be looking at trying to find just over a tenth in sector 1, and you're looking at trying to find about 3/10 in sector 2. Let's go back to the leaderboard. Let's see who is where. That is DP. He did get purple sector 1 and 3. Stocky has just gone second
to P2.
Yeah. And I do believe Kev did decide to return to the pits. Stocky has called it quits on the session there. He's happy with his P2. He doesn't think he's going to be going much quicker than that, and it's very, very tight. Who do we have on the circuit that's up there at the moment?
Johnny James is on his lap, but I think he's just screwed up in turn 2.
Temp Fear is on one.
Circuit.
He's done a 16.2 sector 1, almost matching DP in sector 1 and sector 2. So it's all about sector 3. This could be putting him on the front row.
Downhill, getting it turned in. Could that quite possibly have been a touch of a corner cut? Hopefully not, as we're running now towards the line. Is this going to snatch? He's got third.
But I tell you what, those times are extremely close.
That is bumping Overdyking and Kev down to 5th place, and just to let the viewers know how close this is, between 1st and 5th it is less than 1.5 tenths.
Yeah, I've got that on the screen here now, and it is so close. I mean, Konzo, he is out on circuit and he's on an outlap, and he'll be looking at this and thinking, do you know what, if I just get a few more tenths.
Just to let you know, Johnny James on his outlap, and luckily for him, he's just got a lovely bit of slipstream off a Red Bull heading up the hill, so hopefully 16.6 though, it's not been enough. Turn 1, Jamie James is losing heaps of time. What is sector 2 going to bear for Jamie James? Very tentative on turning. This circuit is all about fast flowing corners, being comfortable with the front end, and we are seeing the drivers that are feeling comfortable and the drivers that are feeling tentative. It's a 30.9 mid-sector.
This could be for James a matter of just getting a faster lap in than what he's already set, just to try and gain some places on the grid, because at the moment he's currently position 13.
If he could get P6, I think he'll be happy.
And he has. There you go. And we do have other cars out on the circuit. Kev 187 has set a P. He has set a sector 1 of a 16.2, sector 3 of a 30.6, and they are again on par with what DP and Temp Fear set, similar to Stocky. It's all about this last corner.
He's 10th here, he'll be about 3rd or 4th with his first
Is
sector.
Kev gonna snatch this?
No, I don't think he did.
No, I don't think so.
I think it was a 17. I think that was a 7-0. He may have improved his time, but I don't think he's improved his position. So at the moment we're on board with GT5 King. I don't know how his previous laps went. We did see at one point a lap got abandoned, but he's P8 currently. And how's it going to go for him coming around the last corner? Car looks nicely planted.
Still,
he's
jumped to P6. He's jumped in front of Jamie James.
That'll be Jamie James down to at least
We've got
P7.
Batman in P9.
He'll be wanting to improve that.
And he's gone to P6, so he's bumped Jamie James and GT5 King
Now
down.
Dan Evs, he's on the prime tyres.
He's sitting in 10th, so he's going to be one to watch for the race. Maybe he's thinking, you know
Over
what, I ain't
Dyking.
got the out-and-out pace.
What's this? P4 going to change to? Looks like it stayed
Stays
P4. Down
And
all
Kev
of that. Yep,
Is in.
P5. Because I believe
He's gonna
this
be annoyed
is
at that.
not a lap that he's on. That is just a rolling round, finishing off lap.
He
Wow.
may not be happy with his position, but look how close it is between the top 4,
Yep.
even the top 5. This is super close.
Now look at that. Unfortunately, Jason did seem to disappear from the session again, so we may have an issue there with Jason managing to get on the grid, unfortunately. But we can't
So yeah, he may
keep things
start
waiting
behind
for
us, so
one
he
driver.
Hopefully he'll take a void in action at the start, 'cause he will probably be starting behind us.
I don't know whether he's going to get on the grid at this late stage, but with only a few seconds to go, DP pole position of 106.9. But look at that, 106.9, 106.9, 106.9, 106. So close up there with the top few drivers.
Yeah. This is what we want, though. I mean, it's every single race. We've not had many races where we thought that was a pretty boring race. I think this is going to be an absolute cracker.
And I'll tell you what, these hills are going to be alive with the sound of not music but Formula One engines.
Oh yeah.
I didn't look back at the weather forecast that I said I was going to, and I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be surprised if this did get wet at some point. Yeah, unfortunately it does look like Yarson is not going to make the grid. That is a big shame for him. But yeah, GT5 King was down in 8th place there after doing reasonably well, and also Jamie James got bumped down with a few other people qualifying on that last lap just ahead of him. Race strategy, what does it say?
Exciting with these top 5. And
We're
if
looking
anything goes wrong between them, the others will be there to snatch the positions.
Possible 3 stops here. Will people try and do a 2-stop? Will anybody risk a 4-stop? If it rains, it could be 8 stops. Who knows? Ah, well, I'll tell you who does know. Mother Nature. So I'll leave this bit to you.
So the 5 lights are about to go on. Charlie Whiting setting them going. And there we go. Away we go in Austria. Heading down into turn 1. It's looking very, very hectic. 5 wide heading into turn 1. This is going to be...
There's cars everywhere. Over Dykink has spun. I think there's a McLaren at the back. No, it's a Red Bull.
So at the front. Oh no, we've got Batman. He's made an amazing start. The Red Bulls are really taking it. We've got Stocky down at the front, trying to take the race lead from DP. No, DP's right at the back. What has happened to DP?
I thought it might have been Kev 187 that was facing the wrong way at turn 1.
Tempia and Stocky fighting out for the race lead, and Stocky's just breezed past Tempia. I did think that was DP at the start, utter balls up there by the commentary team, but Stocky, the Red Bull and Batman have made an absolutely cracking start, and Kev's down in 6th position, and DP once again on lap 1. He's side by side with Mornay, heading down into the penultimate corner. Is he going to be able to make this room straight round the outside? But he's running wide though.
I tell you what,
And is Dykink, is he back there? Oh, Daiking's
he
at
is.
the back of the grid.
This is only round 8, and it must be at least 7 times DP has had a first lap incident, and not every time has it been his fault. And it's going to be interesting to look back at later on.
The good thing about this is that all drivers appear to be running around with all parts of their front wings, and that's what we want to see. We don't want to see dropouts. We don't want to see people miles out, and it looks like side by side we've got Kev trying to take on, is that Dan Evs? Yeah, it is. He's up the inside. Is he getting past on traction? He looks... Oh,
he should do.
Side by side action. Dan Evs should have the inside though. Is he going to keep it in there? No, he's letting go.
Dan Evs is on the harder tyres.
Up into P5, and these top 4, they're not going anywhere. Kev's after them now. These top 4 are all fighting. We've got Stocky, Tempfear and Batman.
GT5 King as well.
Right, that's good to know. But we've got Stocky, Tempfear and Batman all up each other's rear end, and this is a multi-way battle. And Tempfear looks like he's going for the move down into turn 1. No, he's just jumping back into the slipstream, giving Batman a bit of a... Go on, Ray.
At the back, free battle at the back. DP's got ahead of GT5 King. And
the King, yeah, he's up the inside. Is he on the grass? DP's giving him no space, but then again, he's not fully alongside. Over King now, side by side with GT5 King. Is he going to break late? He's just keeping it in there. And he's just jumped in front of GT5 King again. Cheers for that, Ray. That was absolutely a fantastic bit of racing going on there.
Just to let you know as well, both
GT5 King's coming back, over King. GT5 King's coming back. Over King's holding it all the way around the outside and just keeping that position. But this is going to be a race-long battle now between Front Row Racing DP and the Ferrari of Over King.
Ray, what was that information?
Both Mauritius spun it, and I think Overdye King spun it as well. I don't know. I'll see if
he must have done.
more information at Ferrari.
There we go. We've got Tempfear. Ray, if you can just keep an eye on that them moves with DP, that'd be absolutely fantastic. As we've got Stocky, Tempfear and Batman line of stern heading up towards turn 2. I think Tempfear may have a run now on Stocky. I think this is going to be the race lead, just ebbing away for Stocky, but he's going defensive. He's trying to make Tempfear go all the way around the outside. This is very tough round here, as me and GP found out last year. It can get very, very close, and he's made it. Tempfear, what a fantastic move, keeping the Mercedes-Benz back into P1 now. And then Red Bulls, they're not looking like they're going to back down easy.
I'll tell you what, these Red Bulls are looking very strong at Red Bull Ring.
Up the inside of Over King, heading down into turn 3. Over King's turning in on him. That's been a bit of a bump and grind, but they're all front wings are intact, and that's what we want to see. Killer Corkin's going to touch wide, and Over King, I think he's spotting fresh meat out there. He's going to be wanting to pounce on that ASAP.
I mean, we heard earlier on that the two teams of the Ferrari and the McLaren, they have parted company in their chat room, and maybe this is the first signs of it, with GT5 King not holding back on the back of Over King's car.
I said fresh meat's available, and Over King, he's going for it. He's straight making the move down into turn 1. This is going to be close, leaving just enough room there, Killer Corkin.
Over King just struggling to get the power down then.
Yeah, he cannot wait behind Killer Corkin. He needs to get on. He can see DP pulling away in the distance. He's up the inside into turn 2. Braking way late. Has he gone too deep? He has.
He has.
Killer Corkin's coming straight back at him.
Killer Corkin's on the hard tyres, and he's able to keep up with Over King at this point. Over King's tyres are struggling.
Here. Killer Corkin's giving Over King a bit of a love tap there, trying to put Over King off.
What was that about DP?
I thought he was doing a move, but he backed out, and DP got hit into Kev, spun, and DP waited for him.
There we go. Okay, I'll tell you what though, with this being a 3-stopper, we're expecting people, or possible 3-stopper, people put in between laps 7 and 8, unless someone decides to take it early.
So close up behind Killer Corkin. Killer Corkin's gone defensive into corner. You do not want to go defensive, and Over King's up the inside, and he's done it. But GT5 King, GT5 King, he's in there as well. Is he going to snatch the move off Killer Corkin? I think he is. Easy pickings there for the Ferrari and McLaren, but Killer Corkin, looks like he's going to come back now at GT5 King. as we've got Konzo and Dan Ebbs and
James
DP.
has left the pit and damaged his wing.
No way.
Did you say he left the pits?
Over Dykink now as Konzo's almost lost the rear end, doing so well for his third race in the wheel. He's doing really well to keep DP behind him. DP's braked a bit too late. Just give Konzo a bit of a love tap there down into turn 3.
So just to confirm,
so much. Yeah.
Jamie James went for an undercut to get on some fresh tyres before anyone else, but he did damage his front wing coming out the pits. So there we go, that's going to just ruined it.
Shooting yourself in the foot massively around this circuit as it's so short. What are you seeing, Ray?
The top 3, Batman.
Batman, Stocky. Stocky's in the pit.
Stocky's in.
Went for the pit. Batman went for the wider line and cut back in and nearly hit the back of him. Kev went for the pit.
We've got Konzo up the inside of Dan Ebbs, backing out of it into turn 1. But this is going to give DP the run now up the hill. DP is so close up behind Konzo.
I'll tell you what, the start of the race we've had here, it's put everything a bit upside down, and it is just absolutely relentless for overtakes at the moment.
And DP's wanting to get past Konzo ASAP because he can see Over Dykink up behind him, and he does not want him sniffing around the back end of that Mana Marusha as he's making the move, breezing past Konzo there.
I mean, we've got Dan Ebbs.
Konzo going to make it hard now.
In 4th place on the hard tyres, looking strong in that position.
Really strong, really good for his overall outcome of this race. But yeah, now DP's got a bit of breathing space between himself and Over Dykink down in 7th place at this current moment on lap 7, and he's coming up behind Dan Ebbs, and this is the crossover point where the options die and the primes become more consistent. And DP, he's going in, he's going for the pits. Is anybody else following him? No.
Temp Fear's going round for another lap.
Oh, very wide there for DP. Maybe it was just a camera angle, but we will find out when we watch the replays. Getting in the pit, we've also got Batman in the pits. We've got Mercedes-Benz waiting out there.
Kev 187's gone round for another lap.
Batman's pitted.
We've got action.
In.
Where was that? I just saw something then. Oh, it looks like it was Over Dykink just getting a bit sideways, but he has still got Killer Corkin all over the back of his car.
So current leader is Temp Fear. And we've got Kev 180 in 2nd place. Jamie James is down in 12th. This is not what he wants.
Killer Corkin's gone for a move up the inside of Over Dykink. Over Dykink's left him a little bit of space, and I think Killer's got the move done.
Yeah, this is race-long battle between these two. I mean, Killer Corkin's showing how good he is at racing, because we know that Over Dykink is absolutely on it the majority of races, and he's on the prime tyres now. Is this the part where the options are dying? As Over Dykink almost lost the rear end there.
I don't think they're dying, I think they're dead. I think they are dead.
Running into the pits.
Yeah,
I think
Over Dykink
following him in. So, race leader Temp Fear in the pit, Kev 180 in the pit, Konzo's also in the pit, Over Dykink's in the pit. And Temp Fear's already had his pit stop and gone. He's already heading down pit lane.
So where is DP in this? Because DP was one of the first of the front runners to get a clean pit stop.
DP's heading down pit straight. He can see them just exiting the pits now. Who have we got there? So this is Konzo at exit. Is DP going to jump in front of Konzo? Yeah,
it says it's...
No, it hasn't, no. I
tell you what, it's telling me.
Behind,
Kev 187.
Kev is in 8th.
In 8th position at this moment in time. Yeah.
So DP's just jumped in front of GT5 King. He's now got Kev in front of him in P7. We've got Bartman in P6. Temp's jumped down to P5. Mornay, though, he's been
still
going
running
on these primes from lap 1.
Yep, Stocky.
We've also got Stocky on primes.
At the moment it looks
on primes, and Dan Ebbs is currently race leader, running long on a set of primes. We did say this is exactly what he's aiming for, but these primes at this moment in time look like they're almost about to die.
Every car that's ahead of the Mana Marushas at this point are on the harder compounds. Ray,
Batman's a lot closer than what he was before the pit stops.
So he's had some gain.
We've got we've just got Sauber heading into pit lane. At the current moment in time, both Ferraris are at the back of the grid. The grid. Are we going to see an epic comeback from Overdyking? It's just overtook Konzo into turn 1. His next target up the road is GT5 King.
Bartman's lining up an overtake on Temp Fear down into turn 3. He's got the DRS open. Is he going to go for the move? He looks like he's happy to stay there with him at the moment, but I tell you what, Kev 187 is right there with them, and he is on the softer tyres.
He's running on the options, whereas these two that have pitted in front of him, they're now running the prime tyre, so Kev needs to get in front and try and build a gap, because these two, they're going to be quick at the end of the race when they jump back onto the options. And
it's only going to take about 5 laps of Kev following these cars for his tyres to have dropped off enough for the delta times to be pretty much the same. So Kev needs to get it done.
Over the back of Killer Corkin.
I think we've got a wee debate on the messages. They're saying that Dom ain't quick. See, I was about to reply saying I don't want to know about Dom's sex life, but I think he is quick, and I think he could have a chance of winning this.
He's making his way through the field right now. We've got Killer Cork and Dan Ebbs, who've just come out of the pit lane on a set of options, and Konzo. Dan Ebbs does not want to lose position here. He needs to make the moves, and he needs to make them count now.
Kev's going for a move on Batman. He's got the inside line, he's got the option tyres.
Oh, I just moved off
he's done it.
Connor. I think Connor's just stuck it in the wall. I am now on Kev 187, but if someone could check Connor.
I'll have a look.
Konzo.
Yeah.
Yes, he has.
He's just he's about to relinquish last place to Jamie James. He's front wingless. Absolutely gutting there for Konzo.
It looked like he just got the power on a bit too much, and it just swung the back end round straight into the front. Was just sticking in the wall.
That out of turn 2, that.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, similar to what I did last year. It's so easy to lose it in turn 2. But now Overdyking making his way in the space of 2 laps. He's made his way from the penultimate P11 down into P7 in the space of 2 laps, so that's not bad going for the haters on YouTube about Overdyking. He's making his way back through the field, and he's got GT5 King just ahead of him. And then just in front of that, we've got Tempia trying to make a move on Kev 180. Kev 180 just seems to he's just got past both these prime runners, but Tempia's not giving up on this position now for P2. Back on the throttle. Is Kev gonna give enough room? Yes, he is.
Like I was saying, it doesn't take many laps.
Downhill, Batman's in there as well. Batman's wanted a piece of this.
It doesn't take many laps for these options to go off.
Yeah, these options, they're really, really quick for the first 4 or 5 laps, and then they die instantly. And Kev made them couple of positions so quick because he was one of the first people to pit for a new set of option tyres. Heading down into turn 1, is Batman going to make a move on Temp Fear?
Not this time, but he could be lining up for a move into turn 2. And do you know what? A lot of people do try and overtake into turn 2. They say it's an overtaking place. I don't like it. It's so easy to get it wrong.
No. Yeah. Stocky, he's running away with this lead at the moment.
Let's go and have a look how he's doing.
I'll just mark his gap.
He is. Just tell you what, he's looking strong being out that far in the lead on these prime tyres.
4 seconds in. Yeah, 4 seconds in front of Kev.
Oh, Kev's gonna have to get that hammer down, but he does have this distraction of Temp Fear behind him.
And also, I say that DP was down at the back at the end of lap 1. He's done so well to be back in P5 and being able to see Kevin's teammate only 3 positions in front of him.
After talking to DP after the race last week, he was describing to us how frustrated he was to be taken out again at the start of a race and to have to be running at the back of the grid at after lap 1, and he got so annoyed he couldn't get his car back on the pace. Maybe he started to learn that, okay, I'm at the back, not my fault, let's focus and I can improve on it. And
try to get past Temp Fear.
Let's have a look. Temp Fear. And I'll tell you what, DP's right up behind him.
this is going to be a battle on between Bartman and Tempfear, it looks like it. But to say that DP and Overdyking was pretty much next to each other at the end of lap 1, the gap that DP's pulled out over Overdyking is absolutely mega. I think the problem for Overdyking is he's been stuck in dirty air.
Yeah.
Now DP's getting his moments of being stuck in dirty air now on lap 14.
But look at Overdykink's tyres, he's on prime, so he's getting rid of these and then going back to options.
Yeah, he's thinking about the long game, is Overdykink.
There's one thing we've not mentioned about this circuit is how much it drinks the fuel. This is one of the thirstiest circuits on the calendar, and at any point you can save fuel, you need to save some fuel for when you need to run rich to try and make an overtake, because otherwise you could end up with having problems on the last few laps.
I think Overdyking may be going for this move down into turn 1. Yeah, he is. He's up the inside. Is Killer going to give him enough room? Yeah, side by side squirming, heading up the hill towards turn 2, the dreaded turn 2 where it's off camber. He's been forced to the outside by Killer Corkin, giving just enough room. Killer Corkin's gone deep into turn 2, and Overdyking, he's having a bit of that, and he's saying thank you very much, thanks for P7, and I'm off.
And that's exactly what can happen if you brake on the dirty stuff. If you're not on that clean dry line, I say dry line, clean racing line where there's no marbles.
And we've got DP now chomping all over the back of Bartman. Bartman's going to be wishing that he's going to be trying to cover up them wing mirrors so that he isn't getting distracted.
DP's going for the pits. I think that might be a wise move, you know.
Maybe he's going to touch wide at pit entry. Maybe it's just the internet connection visibility. I think we've got Kev up the inside of somebody. Yeah, it's Kev up the inside of Stocky for P1. So he's just clawed in them 4 seconds, just taken P1 away from Stocky, but Stocky is still close up behind. Is he going to be able to regain that position? But even so, Stocky's going to be feeling good knowing he's got the primes out of the way, whereas Kev and DP have yet to get onto them. And talking of getting back onto them, I'm just going to see what tyres DP's now on.
I think DP's made a wise move though of getting into the pits instead of following those cars and losing the time behind them.
I think he's gone wide, he's lost time to Dan Evs. Dan Evs now looking super strong on a set of options. He ran long in the first stint.
But he's going for a move on Overdyking. Yeah, I was looking backwards from Dan's car and realised, hang on a minute, there's another one just ahead of him.
Yeah, so Overdyking's going to be, he's been making his way through the field, and Dan Evs is now chomping all over the back of Overdyking with superior tyres. Overdyking may be wondering, hang on, where's Dan Evs' pace just turned up from? But it's just come from a long stint on primes.
Car in the pits. I just saw a Freedom McLaren going into the pits.
GT5 King's in the pit. I think Dan Evs, no, I don't think he's going to make a move in turn 1.
in the pits as well.
Barman's in, so he's one of the front runners. So that puts Overdyking into 4th place.
If Dan Evs gets a good run out of turn 1, which he has done, I think he may have a look down into turn 2 against Overdyking. Here we go. Is Overdyking going to go defensive? He's going to stay on the racing line.
If Overdyking
just looking a touch too far, as Overdyking's run a touch wide there through turn 2, trying to get the rear end of the car on the flat surface. Very smart.
Ray, was you saying
driving.
Something about Dan Evs?
No, I said, would you like a bit of news?
Go on then, yeah.
Go on
quick.
then.
An engineers just came on and said there will be light rain in 15 minutes.
Well, if you find it easier, say it in Scottish. It's going to pee it down in a minute.
It's going to be good Scottish summer weather in 5 minutes.
Over Killer Corkin.
Killer Corkin heading for the pit,
15.
and yeah, Dan Evs still chomping all over the back of Overdyking, but he needs to stop chomping. He needs to start smelling that fresh air in front of Overdyking, because Overdyking's going defensive down the start-finish straight.
And I'll tell you what, with Overdyking being on them harder tyres, Dan's going to want to get him out of the way. And so Kev's now gone for the pit stop.
Had a bit of a wiggle. Overdyking's had a right wiggle out of turn 1. Is Overdyking? He needs to get in that slipstream. He needs to stop wasting time. He needs to get past. But this is as Overdyking's running wide, but he's doing it to try and get on the flatter surface to get good traction out of turn 2.
I mean, this isn't as crucial for Danevs to overtake Overdyking, because we saw Kev trying to overtake someone earlier, because Danevs has already run the harder tyres. Oh, Overdyking sideways. I thought he was going to end up in the wall, but he managed to catch the rear.
Danevs is pressuring him like mad. But this is all time that is now wasting stuck behind Overdyking. He needs to make the move, get on with it, and get down the road. You cannot waste these superior tyres stuck behind a long-running prime runner. And who's that in the background? Have we got Kev, or is that DP that's pitted and now gaining on them?
Kev.
It's Kev. He's just pitted, yeah.
And he's just reeling these two in as they're losing time stuck behind each other. And he's bringing Bartman along with him. We've got Tempfear in the pit on a new set of option tyres. I think he's going to run out just behind DP as this is going to be close. Yeah, DP's just gone through turn 1 and he's going to be coming out in P7, but once again he's got fantastic tyres. We've got yellow flags up ahead. Is this Kev 180 up the inside of, oh, absolutely close up the inside of Danevs there, down into turn 2. So
and Stocky's there as well.
Kev's just showing how it's done. If you don't make the move, Kev will make the move for you as Stocky up the inside of Danevs. This is close. This is
I think that's Tempfear.
Straight through.
It might have been Tempfear.
Now they're about to start attacking Overdyking, who's running long on a set of primes.
Do you think these guys in the long stint?
Oh, Kev is all over the back. Oh,
quite possibly.
Kev's lost it behind Overdyking, and he's absolutely just lost his front wing.
And I tell you what, if he's wanting the pit lane, he's missed it. And he's decided.
He's missed the. Oh no, this is Kev's race out of it. He just got right up behind Overdyking as Overdyking were heading for pit lane, and absolutely just lost it. I think he was wanting the inside and anticipating that Overdyking were heading for pit lane.
And you know what? That is one thing I do not like about this pit lane.
Yeah, I did say this is probably the most dangerous pit lane exit, pit lane entry. Yeah. Kev's lost his right hand side of his end fence, currently in P5, and he's wanting to get that thing back to the pits ASAP.
I mean, that's put him now behind his teammate.
For the man of Marushas. Yeah. It was looking so good up until I think he just had a bit of confusion up behind Overdyking. Luckily, it didn't take Overdyking off, and Overdyking were able to get in pit lane.
So just to confirm, up at the front at the moment we've got Stocky running away with it a little bit. He's ran the hard tyres, he's on the soft tyres now, he's not long pitted, he's looking strong, and it's only his teammate that's following him.
16 laps to go. Rain anticipated.
I'll tell you what,
Stocky on a pad, looking good in a Red Bull, round the Red Bull ring. Are we jinxing this, or is he going to be able to run away with this race?
I don't know, but if this rains, whoever's at the back of the grid could still win this.
Oh, we've got Mornay just making a dive bomb on Konzo down in for the last position there. That was a bit risky there, putting a lot of faith in Konzo not to turn in. But he's made the move and he's in P11. Jamie James he's just jumped into P9 as somebody's in the pits. Danevs now down in 8th place, but he's now on a brand new set of fresh options.
I'll tell you what,
Overdyking in P7.
If I'm not mistaken,
set of new options,
which sometimes I normally am, DP is right up behind Tempfear, and I'm pretty sure Tempfear was behind DP, so Tempfear has overtaken DP. Right. He is on, Tempfear is on the softer tyres. Fantastic. So I think Tempfear has made the move.
Just to let our viewers know, I've been looking up in the skies and them clouds are looking ominous and black.
Tempfear has gone and set the fastest lap of the race so far. So DP at this moment in time is running the harder tyres. I say that. Do you know what? I'm not so sure now. Yes, there they are. They are yellow. From the distance view, they looked red walled, but from on board, they are definitely yellow.
Christian Horner and Jerry Halliwell are going to be absolutely over the moon at this current moment. Lap 22, Red Bull running P1 and 2.
Ray, if you could do a favour for us and get down to that Red Bull garage, ask them to start that hot tub, because I want to be jumping in it with them later on.
bet you would be. You cheeky bugger.
Only if Jerry Halliwell's in there.
Yeah, she's knocking on a bit
She's at
now.
home with me.
Yeah.
Well, I think Stocky's looking for something more than Jerry Halliwell. He's looking for the win of this race, and he's going the right way about it. Once again, absolutely outclassing the field. His racecraft's been clean as a whistle this race, along with many other races this season.
DP's in them.
Heading for pit lane.
And Kev 187, after losing that bit of front wing and pitting, is down in 10th place, 38.5 seconds from the leader.
Guys,
Yes.
to look out, light rain in 5 minutes.
Stopwatch is on the go.
Absolutely,
I did say, yeah.
absolutely
clouds are
peeing it
rolling
down
in.
in 15.
Thank you.
I did say the clouds are looking dark, and is this going to spice up the end of the race? Is this current Red Bull P1 and 2 going to go out of the window? DP's just pitted. Would he have been better staying up with his top group of cars until the rain starts?
I don't know, because if it's
Or
light
was he
rain,
just out of grip?
is it the right time to pit now so you've got fresh tyres from now till it rains? It's a difficult one to call. I'll tell you what, whoever calls it right is going to be the one that makes the most out of it. But Stocky at the moment, go on.
I personally keep rolling round, even if I'm losing the second a lap, keep rolling round until it starts spitting and then get it in that pit lane.
If on this circuit it is just a light rain and not heavy, you can run the dry tyres for quite some time on it. And I'll tell you what Stocky's looking like at the moment. He's looking like he's trying to go so fast that he's finished the race before it rains.
Killer Corkin right up behind GT5 King is making a move down into turn 1. GT5 King's going wide, leaving the car's width. Killer Corkin almost lost rear end there, and he's just breezing past. The amount of traction they're having, even though they're losing rear instability out of turn 1, is absolutely mind-boggling. But Killer Corkin is just locked up. Is GT5 King going to have a run? No, he's not. But GT5 King behind him, he needs to start looking in his mirrors, because he's got an ever-prancing overdiking. And them clouds are looking really dark. I think this is going to start raining soon, as the hills in the background, they're not echoing with the sound of music. I think they're echoing with the sound, the pitter-patter of heavy rain.
Pitter-patter raindrops, pitter-patter raindrops. Anyway,
And Stocky and Batman carrying on for another lap. They're wanting to roll around until this starts raining.
I tell you what, it's amazing how many times we see Ferrari winning at Monza and Red Bulls winning, well, I say so many times, but it's how good we see on this game these Red Bulls go at the Red Bull Ring. Coincidental? Yeah.
Could just feel confident, and look who's feeling confident as well. It's the two Mercedes-Benz. As Tempia goes for a move on Dan Eves, on his teammate, down into turn 1. This is very polite. On exit, he's
very close.
Dan Eves out of room there. So Dan Eves, he won't have to do an ETL lift. But look who's up behind him. That's DP. He's gonna, if they start battling, DP's gonna be up there like a ferret up a drain pipe. As Tempia's just got in front, and DP now on the side of Dan Eves. He's gonna jump into that slipstream, I think. No, he's got the DRS.
It looks like he's the only one with it open.
Dan Eves has got, yeah. Oh, Dan Eves braking so late. I thought he was going to just pile drive into the back of Tempia there, but this is looking close now. But yeah, Dan Eves running long. I think this is still his second set of tyres, and is that a touch of rain I've just seen, or is that my eyes deceiving me?
I think it might be, and I do understand that because of the Welshman being a Welshman and he does like the rain, he actually described this this weather when it rains here in a very interesting way. He's not quite made it move.
DP's backed out of it. He's waiting for the start-finish straight, which he's making a move now.
Got that DRS open. Has he got the horsepowers to trot on by?
No, he's going to jump in behind, I think. I don't think he's up. Yeah, he's waiting. He's being conservative. He knows that this weather's going to change any moment as the hills are getting ever darker.
Ray, what was it that Dan Eves said about it when it rains round here?
It's like a swimming pool, and he needs to get his armbands out the closet.
Well, I'd be alright, I've got my spare tyre. So DP's going for a move up into turn 3. Is he going to make it stick? Dan Eves making it tight for him. He's giving him the room. DP's still there. Who's going to make it? I tell you what, these I did just see
Stocky's
rain.
in the pit. Stocky's in the pit. It's raining.
Now, what is Stocky doing with his tyres? Because it is just starting to rain. Is he going to jump onto those option tyres? Dan Evans has just made it.
You can't.
Intermediates,
You can't
I mean.
He's going for a set of primes.
Primes?
Oh, is this Stocky just losing his mind? Are my eyes deceiving me? I'm pretty sure he's
Keep
gone
an
for
eye
the
on those
set of yellow
tyres. Those tyres might change as he exits the pit
May
lane.
change. Let's see.
Has he selected the wrong
No,
tyres?
the primes. He selected the wrong tyres, and that is once again the weather playing its part. And I think that's Stocky. He's going to have to make another pit stop.
DP's making that move on Dan Evans. They've been side by side for near on a whole lap. And whoever's on the racing line at this point is going to have a massive amount of grip.
Dan Evans just up behind, braking sweetly. But yeah, DP's now to P4. Stocky's in P3, but he's going to have to pit again. But that massive lead that he's had, he's still in P3, but that massive lead he's had, he's just thrown it away, wasting it on a set of primes. And now out in the lead, we've got over Dykink just running long on a set of options.
Well, this is why I don't understand he's put the primes on, because he ran the primes earlier on, did Stocky. So he had no reason to put another set of primes on at all.
I think I'm going to see all of these bombing into the pit lane. No, Overdykink staying out, 10th Fear staying out.
It's too late, it's not hard enough yet.
That's what you said last night, Ray.
Oh yeah. So they're all going round for another lap, but 10th Fear, he's wanting this move off over Dykink. The one lap when you don't want to make an overtake is when it's absolutely greasy on the circuit, but if he wants the win, he's going to have to do it.
And I tell you what, now it started raining, whoever is in that first position, which is over Dykink, is in the prime position, because however many pit stops you've already made goes out the window. What tyres you're on goes out the window.
10th Fear's going for the move though now, down into turn 3. He's made the move, he's up the inside. Is he going to get it slowed down? Yes, he is. Fantastic bit of driving there from 10th Fear.
The DRS is still available, so I'd wait till that gets cut off.
I believe that the DRS does cut off when it's just on the crossover point between inters and wets.
Well, maybe Stocky.
At that point, it cuts off.
Does Stocky know something we don't? I mean, he's put those prime tyres on, and the amount of laps we've got left in this race, those primes could go to the end. And I'll tell you what, if it rains no heavier than this, he could still win it on those primes to the end.
But Overdykink's doing exactly what I said I would do. There's a car next to him. And that's
it is Stocky.
Round. Yeah, we've got so yeah, Overdykink's doing exactly what I said I would do. I'd run round on a set of tyres even if they're probably losing a second per lap, because if I've got track position, once it gets wet enough, I'm ready and getting in there for a set of intermediates. And currently he's now got Stocky, who had that massive lead up in front, and now he's side by side with him. Stocky's going to make this move easy peasy.
But that's the difference between worn options and new primes.
But I think this lap, this lap we're going to see everybody jumping in for inters, and look at the gap now. The gap was about 20 seconds between Overdykink and Stocky. On this lap, where they're probably going to jump in for a set of inters, is now about 4 car lengths behind him.
Let us know, Ray, how the
inters. Stocky's in. Overdykink's staying out. Maybe he's feeling it's not early enough.
But I tell you what, he's just run wide. I'm pretty sure I just saw him run quite wide out of the penultimate corner. It might have just been the camera angle.
Well. I think Overdykink's following 10th Fear.
Kev's still out on the prime tyres.
Is DP staying out there?
I'll tell you someone who has put the inters on, Dan Evs. Dan Evs has put the inters on.
Kev's in for inters.
Just came in straight behind his teammate. Will it hold them up?
No, it will.
It didn't.
It didn't. So yeah, that's interesting.
Stocky's out, and that gap he had in front of Overdykink was absolutely nothing. That's why I was saying it would have probably been better for Stocky to stay out on them worn options rather than pit for a set of prime tyres that only lasted 3 laps.
So currently we've got 10th Fear leading on a set of worn option tyres.
Overdykink, and he's got DP chomping at the back of Overdykink now. DP's wanting to get in front before the pit lane entry, because they're both going to be jumping in there, I believe.
I think DP, you know, might not actually be going for the pits here. DP's not going.
Yeah. Overdyking's in. DP stayed out.
Overdyking was over the line.
That is not what you want. Is that a penalty heading his way? Very tricky conditions into the pit lane, but unfortunately you've got a break for the conditions, and he knew it was greasy heading into pit lane, and he just kept on rolling in with excess speed.
I mean, was that the distance? Yeah.
Would it have been better for him to carry on for one extra lap, knowing that he'd blown it at the pit lane entry?
Or was it just the fact that we see it slightly different to him? He could have been in, but
Bartman, is he going to jump in front of Stocky or in front of Overdyking? No, Overdyking is bolted. He's gone down the road and he's now in P4. Stocky's in P3, but the gap in front of Overdyking is not that massive for Stocky. Temp Fear is in P2 but this is definitely time for Inter's weather, as the amount of spray off the back of Temp Fear is massive, and DP is hemorrhaging time, hand over fist. That was the lap when he needed to pit, when he was side by side with Overdyking. DP's almost just lost it, almost just took out Konzo there. Konzo probably didn't realise it was on an old set of options, but yeah, DP's in the pits.
He's conservative on that entrance then. Yeah,
but that's the way you've got to be in these conditions, and I think DP's probably at least thrown away 5 seconds on that lap.
Well, we'll see where he comes out in. I mean, who was it he was battling with? It was Overdyking, wasn't it? When Overdyking went in for the Inters.
Heading down into the last corner, heading onto the start-finish straight. Where is DP?
He's just been released.
So yeah, I think Overdyking's going to breeze in front of you. Yeah, already into turn 1, and he's jumped DP.
I mean, all you can say from that is DP does have 1 lap fresher Inters, but I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference.
Yeah, but the gap he's going to have to pull in on the 1 lap of extra grip negates the gap he's got to pull in, the amount of pressure he's going to have to put through them tyres to get back up with Overdyking. It would have been better to pit on the previous lap, but hindsight's a wonderful thing.
The guys on the live stream, the messaging, are shouting, "Wets, get the wets on" to DP, but he went for Inters.
Exactly. The crowd knew.
Well, could it be very soon full wet weather?
Yeah. Well, we did say, what was the weather report, Ray?
It was light rain in 5, and then 15 minutes it would have been full heavy rain.
Oh, so this could still turn on its head, as we've got Temp Fear currently in P1 with an ever close Stocky, who's he's relinquished the lead of this race to Temp, but I think he's eyeing up regaining P1. But at the point when he's going to regain, we've only got 3 laps left to go, but is this weather going to take a turn for the worse even more and make it impossible to drive on these Inters? The rain is definitely getting heavier.
I'll tell you what, I didn't realise. Yeah, and that's all because of that pit stop 1 lap earlier than DP. It could have been so much different.
DP's now got Bartman chomping all over the back of him. Bartman's Inters have got red hot, got extra temperature compared to DP, who's only been running on his for 1 lap.
But also Bartman was compromised by following his teammate into the pits, and that's why he did lose a bit of ground early on the 2 or 3 laps ago.
Dan Ebbs running long in that first stint has helped him to get up to P6. This will probably be his best position of the season so far, but he's got GT5 King chomping all over the back of him too.
Those drivers out there at the moment will not be wanting it to get any wetter than this.
3 laps to go for Kev. He's going to be absolutely gutted with 8th place. Starting, I think he started quite far down, and it started in 6th place.
I think it was about there, yeah.
Yeah.
GT5 King's chasing all over the back of Daniels.
Yeah, GT5 King is really close. He's going to make a move up into turn 2, running through turn 1. Is this going to be a nice exit for GT5 King? No! Massive power slide out of turn 1 there for GT5 King at the point where he wanted to be right up behind. But yeah, these weather conditions are definitely getting worse now.
And tyres are locking up all over the place.
Full wets 2 laps to go?
There's only 2 laps to go, unless it was completely undrivable. I'd keep trundling around on the set of intermediates.
I think because the laps are here are so short, you would just keep going on the tyres you're on at this point in time.
As I'm watching Kev turning through turn 3, and he was understeering like mad all parts of his front wing there, but this is almost like driving without your front wing at this point with this amount of water on circuit. GT5 King is chomping all over the back of Dan Evs. Is he going to make this move, or is Dan Evs going to make his Mercedes-Benz as wide as possible?
GT5 King's going to be wanting to get this done as soon as possible. He's eager to get the extra points. Oh, keep an eye on that, because we need to know how it is. I mean, we've only got 2 laps to go, but only one more chance really to make a pit stop for anyone.
This is a lot cleaner out of turn 1 for GT5 King. Is he going to make the move on Dan Evs? Now is the point to get on that dirty side of the grid when it's raining, because that's where the superior grip will be. Dan Evs forcing GT5 King tight into turn 2. Dan Evs all over the power. These two absolutely squirming in these conditions, and Dan Evs once again on the flatter surface on the outside. Even though it does seem like you're going to touch wide, it's probably better for traction on the outside of turn 2.
I mean, sometimes in these full wet conditions you're better off being on the part of the circuit that's not actually the normal racing line. You can normally find that extra bit of grip there.
DP almost lost it there, closing down over Dykink, but it looks like Temp Fear. Is he going to be on for his maiden win of the season? He's got 1 lap left to go with Stocky behind. I have rated Temp Fear very highly this season, and I have notified him plenty of times if he keeps up with his strategy and just keeps plugging away, he's going to end up winning a race. And today at the Austrian Grand Prix, is he going to do it? I think Stocky's not far enough to not close enough to take the win away. The only obstacle he's got now is him and the conditions and the track.
I mean, if there's any guy that's not necessarily underperformed but been more unfortunate than DP this season, it is Temp Fear.
We've got a massive battle going on for 7th, 8th and 9th. It's Dan Evs, it's Killer Corkin, and it's GT5 King heading all through turn 2 on the power, squirming away. Killer Corkin's come into this battle, and I've not seen where he's come from. He must be.
We'll jump onto that in a moment. We've got Temp Fear with 1 corner to go, and Temp Fear is definitely going to be winning the Austrian Grand Prix and his first victory ever in the Front Row Racing World Championship. Well done, Temp Fear, well deserved. Second for Stocky, 3rd for Over Dykink, 4th place will be going to Front Row Racing DP, 5th looks like it will be Bartman.
Oh, Killer Corkin's had a massive scruffy exit out of the middle sector, and GT5 King, is he going to snatch P8? I think he will. He's up the inside, heading down into the penultimate corner, down into the final corner now.
Looks like GT5 King may have that position.
Is this going to be side by side over the line by Killer Corkin and GT5 King? Oh, I think GT5 King just kept it there. Absolutely fantastic. Jamie James almost lost it out of the last corner. This is definitely wet weather conditions. The drivers will be glad to get out of their cars and get back into the paddock.
I'll tell you what, the driver. Yeah, you can.
We haven't talked about in-game penalties yet.
Wow, good point. Ray, can you have a quick look for us? Don't tell us who, just tell us if there's plenty there. Mornay's just coming round. Yeah, he's currently in 11th place, not going to score any points, but my hat goes off to him for not giving up. Very difficult conditions. He won't need to go for a bath because his car is basically like a bathtub at this point, full of water.
So there we go, we're about to find out. Temp Fear, what a fantastic win. And there we go, Over Dykink, he's not on the podium. It's
he's not.
Racing DP.
Well, there you go, that's all down to penalties. Over Dykink is not on there.
Temp Fear, what a fantastic win. I've rated him all season long, and he's gone and took the win. An ever impressive Stocky in P2 for Red Bull Racing at the Red Bull Ring. And talk about a comeback after the end of lap 1. Front Row Racing DP ends up in P3.
And that's a smile just as big as he would have if he was on the top step. So there you go, no penalties at all for DP. No penalties for DP. Where did Overdijking go to?
He's ended up in P5. He must have had massive penalties. We did see
two penalties of 8 seconds there in total.
We did also see pit lane entries by Overdijking that were a touch wide, so they may hurt him later on. But apart from that, Overdijking's racing, if them penalties don't apply, he did a fantastic race today.
Yeah, I mean there is quite a few there on the race directors board, but well, unexpected really there at the end to see Overdijking drop down that far, but unfortunately he did. So we got a top 3. Ray, if you could invite these 3 into the chat party. I nearly forgot about doing the podium conversations. So in first place, Temp Fear. Well, perfect drive for him there, definitely there. I mean, yeah, great finish.
I did have a chat with him. I don't know if it was at the last race or the race before. He ended up on the podium, and I had a chat with him, and I did say, "You keep plugging away, Temp, and you're going to end up with a win." And there we go. He's plugged away, and the conditions, Stocky sort of possibly shot himself in the foot there, jumping onto a set of primes when it just started raining.
I think that might have just done it for him. Yeah, I mean,
I think that did it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been a great fan of Temp Fears from when he first joined Front Row Racing, and I tell you what, this I think is probably the first race where he can actually go, do you know what, I didn't have any incidents that were not my fault, and I could actually get the car to go where I wanted it to go, and he's done it. You know, and it's come out on top. Yep. Most races he's had a bit of a bump here, a bit of a bump there, not always his own fault, and he's been hindered. And in these days now where there's no safety cars in this game, it's so difficult to come back, as DP's been finding out. Right, I'll just say as well that everything at the moment is provisional. Obviously the Front Row Racing race director will be having a look through certain things, and if any drivers do report things, the drivers may get additional penalties if they are warranted, but I will comment on that again later at the end of the interviews. Do we have all 3 join us in the
we are
podium booth?
For P3, which was DP.
I think I heard him munching.
We'll get this going. No, it's Ray, yourself, Stocky, Temp and me still waiting for DP, so I'll get him in there.
Come on, Mr. DP. He'll be saying goodbye to all his fans on his YouTube channel. Or he's sitting there going, it didn't bloody record.
Right, so there we go, Temp. Well done. An absolutely fantastic win there. I did have a word with you at the end of the last race, or maybe it was the race before, and I said, you keep plugging away, man, and you'll come away with the top place. And there we go, you've done it, man. How are you feeling?
Well, it's almost unbelievable, but it just chucked, to be honest. I finally got the win. It's all I needed. I use this to try and catch back up to the guys ahead.
No, fantastic, absolutely class driving today, man.
Yeah, I mean, I would just say, Temp, my hat goes off to you. I mean, you've had a perfectly clean, from what I could see, clean, contactless race, and it's just allowed you to come out on top in a position where you should be, in that first place. And we've had so many different winners this season, but I think of all the drivers that hadn't won up to this point, you were one that my money was on to win a race at some point this season. So well done. I know that's not exactly a question, but I just want to say well done to you. But I mean,
the only problem I had in that race was listening to Stocky's teammate the whole race.
Yeah, I tell you what, Stocky's teammate, I think shot himself in the foot a little bit by following his teammate. Following Stocky into the pits. It just cost him a little bit of time, and that just made that gap a bit bigger than for you. But also something you may not be aware of, which you will be in a minute, because we'll talk to Stocky about it, I'm sure.
You'll be aware of it, it was in the same party.
So there we go, fantastic there for 10.
We're mates, we're in the same party.
Yeah, fantastic there. We'll come back to you in a minute there.
Yeah, we'll come back to you in a minute, Tim.
Stocky, P2.
Yep.
We did see the moment which I thought you'd lost the race win there. It may have been when it went on, it was just starting raining, and you went for a set of prime tyres, I said, what is Stocky doing? Normally his pit decisions are usually spot on. That was the first mistake I think we'd seen you make all season. Was that where you lost today's race?
Yeah, I mean, when I was thinking about pitting, I checked my engineer and it said light rain, 10 minutes. So I thought, 10 laps to go, 10 minutes, more or less the end. Let's put some primes on and go to the end, because I knew temp was on options. I was thinking his engineer would say the same, that he wouldn't make it to the end, so I pitted for primes. And right as I was leaving the pit lane, starts bloody raining.
Lucky man.
Just bad luck.
I have had pit crew that has done that to me before. I've had pit crew that said that there's going to be light rain and they've told other drivers heavy rain. So I've been planning to do one thing. Told you heavy rain?
Yeah, well.
They lied, but there you go. But yeah, Stocky, that had your win all over it, unfortunately, until you put them the primes on at the end there. But I must say though, well done on a good second place, because of the guys that are around you at the top of the table. You've gained, or you've extended points from them because you were ahead of your main rivals. And that's basically what you needed to do. Well done.
That's the way I like it, boy.
Nice one.
Well done, and a surprise P3 on the podium. Front row racing DP. Absolutely nightmare first lap. We didn't see what the hell happened. I'm there commentating thinking you're still up at the front, and then I'm like, hang on, no, he's down in P11. So what happened down into turn 1?
Well, it started before turn 1. Lights are on, 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Hang on, I've been overtaken. So yeah, it started pretty much straight away. And then into turn 1, I think I may have given Kev a little bit of a nudge. So I had to pull over, let him through, put myself down at the back of the field. And then yeah, from there, well, it weren't easy. Did you see any of my gambles throughout the race?
Oh, there were plenty of gambles, plenty of paint scraping against other chassis on the circuit, and it was, but yet then again it was utterly clean, and we did see a lot of people struggling at that pit lane entry, which I did say was probably the ultimate danger for most of these drivers, but you managed to tackle that faultlessly. But throughout the race it was pretty much a Mark Webber drive, going from the back of the grid, ending on the podium, so I've got to say well done to you.
Well, thank you very much. You know what? I'm quite frustrated. The quali lap, it was a good lap, but it should have been better. And I did take a huge gamble. I wasn't going to go option at the start. I was actually going to go option prime. But me and Kev, we had a bit of a dilemma with the pit lane. He said, I'm pitting, okay mate, and then he goes, no I'm not, I've crossed the line, I'm going for another lap. So, too late for me. So we both ended up going for longer laps than we wanted. I then thought, you know what, the same rain in about 15-20 minutes, something like that. Right, let's put the options on, we'll be fine. For the next stint I thought, okay, he said 10 minutes and then heavy rain, right, let's put primes on, see if that'll get us those 10 minutes. The rain didn't come, the tyres started to burn up a bit, and it was like, okay, these tyres aren't going to go another 10 minutes because they've just told me again 10 minutes heavy rain, so let's take a gamble, bang a set of options on, see if we can get ourselves back in this race. Which worked because I was right behind Temp Fear, but then I went for the biggest gamble of them all, which was stay on the slick tyre till the full wet. But it just didn't get wet enough.
We noticed that because Overdyking pitted 1 lap before you, but he pulled a big gap out.
You'd lost a fair chunk. You'd just jumped in front of him into the pit lane entry, and he did seem to struggle at the pit lane entry. And I said, oh, DP's going to have to watch out for that pit lane entry on the next lap. By the time you'd come round, it looked like driving on eggshells. It looked almost uncontrollable.
To be honest, I took it cautious because on that lap I realised, okay, yeah, it's not wet enough for full wets. I've got to put the inters on. There's no point staying out any longer.
So well done with finishing 3rd place. But I tell you what, going back to Temp Fear, Temp, next week it's the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. How are you feeling? What do you think about trying to get 2 wins back to back?
Just gotta do it. No, you're not. Nah, if I want to get back into this fight, then the one thing I've got to do is get that. It's constantly to want to further that consistently.
Yeah,
Well, Temp,
go on.
I've got to say, Temp, you keep this work rate up, you keep these positions constantly hassling the front runners, and if you keep plugging away, ending up on the podium, I can see you clearly ending in the top 3 or 4 drivers in the championship.
Yeah, any driver that can win one race can win many more. So on that note, well done, congratulations to the 3 of you. But before all 3 of you disappear or Ray gets rid of you, Ray, do we have any questions from any YouTubers for the top 3 drivers?
Yeah, we did, but I think you have answered them all. That was, well, DP, how did you feel when you got taken out? But you say you hit the back of Kev. Do you think you should have pitted for the wets instead of the inters?
Yeah, it was too early, wasn't it, for wets?
It was too early. It was only ready for the full wet tyre on that last lap of the race.
Lap, yeah.
If we'd have gone for full wets on lap 29, 30 or whatever it was, they'd have just burnt out and they'd have been useless.
Yeah, Stocky was just, why put primes on before the rain?
Yeah, he can't.
Because my engineer told me that was 10 minutes until light rain. A little bit of crap mask.
No, the Dom got a penalty for an illegal overtake, sorry, but the car was a second ahead or away from him. That's all I've got. And Will Butler, I do see your message, but I ain't reading it out on the live stream. It's before the watershed.
What time is it? What time is it? Oh, wait 8 minutes and we'll ask. No, we're not going to wait 8 minutes. No,
because I'm about to put these out.
Yeah. Well, thank you to the top
well
3.
Done, you 3.
Yep. So.
Thank you very much. Well done, guys.
Thank you very much. And if you 3 now could politely leave the chat party, so then we can just finish off on a quick.
Let's see how it is.
So that was Front Row Racing World Championship Round 8 at the Red Bull Ring in Austria, and the top 3 finished off as Tempfear, Stocky and DP. But we did hear from one of the engineers there that Overdyking may have a controversial illegal overtake penalty that he may want taken off, and I don't remember. I didn't look to see how close that was and whether that would be enough to get some places back. It might get 1 or 2 back.
Yeah, I believe it jumped down to P5 on the final standings, but we'd have to have a look into that and see where he would actually eventually end up. But then again, if it's the yellow flags and it's an illegal overtake, it may well stand. So we'd have to have a thorough investigation on that.
Yep, it will be looked into. Ray, do you have anything from any of the drivers? Any drivers message you after the race regarding anything?
Yeah, sorry, I forgot. Conzo, he said he was gutted. He was quick enough until he lost his wing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did look strong. He looked well. He looked like he was going well.
The first 10 laps, he did look to be keeping a steady pace. It didn't seem to be ultimately tearing the road up in terms of race performance, but in terms of consistency, it did look quite good until that unfortunate incident where he lost his wing.
I was going to mention something about Conzo, actually, but during the race, but I didn't get a chance, so I'm going to mention it now about Conzo, and that is he is doing the McLaren Honda thing of take this season as a learning season to get to grips with what he's doing with his wheel, like McLaren have done last season with their engine with Honda. He's taken a season to say, I don't know how many points I'm going to score, I don't know what positions I'm going to finish in, but I'm going to use my wheel for this season to get used to it, so next time round I can push on for hopefully some wins in the championship attempts. So
exactly.
I think
way to go.
The right mentality, why not? I do believe we've covered most things. I will say though at this point that next week it is the British Grand Prix at Silverstone for the Front Row Racing World Championship, guys. If you are interested in joining Front Row Racing, please look us up on our Front Row Racing Facebook page. You'll find us on there. Send us a message, say, can I join in please, and then we'll send you some information on how you join in through our Friday FRRID's Cup league, and not league as such, it's a cup race. All the information will be sent to you if you do ask. Yeah, or just write some comments, subscribe, do whatever, give us some thumbs up if you liked it. If you thought it was pants, give us some thumbs down, and let's see if we can get some more thumbs up than thumbs down. Right, so James and Ray, final thoughts before we hang up.
Well, I'm not looking forward to editing this race because that was every single lap there was something going on. Absolutely fantastic. If somebody's putting negative comments other than my commentary, they must be wrong in the head.
I'll tell you what you do for your highlights on this. You take the race footage, you stick it onto double speed and go, there you go.
Double speed, there we go.
Yeah.
There you go, put that up.
Ray, final thoughts from you.
I think we managed to cut somebody off when they're talking. That was great racing. There was overtakes everywhere. It wasn't. I like that racetrack. I can't wait till next season.
Yeah, I mean
good to watch that.
That is one of my favourite racetracks. I remember it from years ago, known as the A1 Ring, and it's definitely been one of my favourites for a long time. I mean, the way the corners are, the way the straights are, it does induce overtakes. So if you are interested in watching another race around that circuit, there will be the World Series, which is on tomorrow live, same time, same place. So if you want to be notified of when we go live, you do need to subscribe, then you'll get a message saying it's on the go. And I'll be in that race as well, not in it as in commentating. I'm on the grid and maybe aiming for pole position. Only if I start at the back because I decide to, but I may decide to start on pole.
Yeah, GP's on the grid tomorrow night on the Thursday race, and then I'm on the grid on Friday night at 9 o'clock trying to fight for the title.
Which is the project.
Jumping ahead. You've got the FRRIDs first.
Yes, but
apologies.
But as James has just said, what he will be taking part in is Project Cars League. So if you are interested in Project Cars as well, again, look us up on Facebook. Let us know which one it is you're interested in. F1, Project Cars, and we'll give you the information. So thank you to you two for your help in the commentary. I should say more that you did it and I helped you, because I didn't really do much today. So thank you very much for doing everything for me, and we shall see everyone again next time.
Right, fantastic, well done, absolutely brilliant commentary there. And
always have to have the last word, don't you?